appreciate your girl, Adeola. I don't know about you, my people in Nigeria, but I'm getting really tired of having thugs represent us in government, or what do you call grown men, fighting each other at the Edo State House of Assembly. Chai! You know the drama started when 16 lawmakers decided to impeach the speaker and his deputy in their absence. They said because of unruly behaviors.
This is an impeachment notice of the Edo State House of Assembly signed by 16 members. This motion is for the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. They are both hereby impeached. I so move. I stand to second the motion.
So guess what happened when the Speaker arrived?
The impeached Speaker arrives with his followers and heads straight to his occupied seat and confronts the alleged usurpers. Then he attempts to drag his replacement out of the seat.
It's just like James Bond movie, you know? Did you guys catch the man that dropped from the balcony?
But an audacious move starts with a 15-foot, not-so-acrobatic drop from the upper gallery. The lawmaker picks himself up and races for the mace, and then slams it on the desk, and then begins the struggle for the symbol of authority.
Hey, you see, Jay, play it again. Our law. So if you and I should steal basket, you know, these are the people that decide how much time we will spend in jail. Do you know that they destroyed doors? These grown men, they broke windows. In fact, these thugs were shooting guns. Like this, I ask myself, like, is there really hope when it's very clear that the real criminals in Nigeria are the people in power? And speaking of criminals, by the way, did you guys hear that the National Assembly slashed the budget padding from 500 billion naira to 75 billion naira? In case you don't understand, one of the reasons why Buhari took so long to approve the budget was because there was a 500 billion naira padding, you know, extra money added, which no one could explain. Sure, you understand? That means that some people were trying to steal 500 billion naira of our money, your money, my people. Now they are telling us that, oh, the National Assembly has reduced that money to just 75 billion naira. It's okay, Koido, sit down, Koido, I can take care of this. I know you're upset. It's okay, I'm very upset too. These people think that we are stupid. Why should there be any padding at all in the budget? Telling us that you reduce the padded money to just 75 billion naira still means that you are about to rob us of 75 billion naira. That is $376 million. Yes, that you still cannot account for. Talk about criminals in suits, criminals in agbada. These people collaborate to rob us of more money than Yahoo boys or even armed robbers on the streets. I'm tired of having these people run the affairs of my country. How can we move on or even be the best that we can be when we celebrate crime and criminals? And speaking of celebrating criminals, put it up. Is this a joke? Is this some kind of... I don't get it. Maybe I'm not seeing very well. First of all, there is nobody in Nigeria that doesn't know that Ali Modu Sheriff sponsors Boko Haram, or at some point in his life he sponsored Boko Haram, allegedly. As a matter of fact, people believe that the thugs that he used when he was governor of Borno State were the ones that became Boko Haram, and he already equipped them at that time that he was using them. So the man was never prosecuted despite all the evidence against him. Good luck Jonathan protected him when the news came out. In fact, they were hanging together in Chad, and now Buhari is acting as if he doesn't know who Ali Modu Sheriff is, as if he doesn't know about all the stories that broke at that time. And he said he wants to defeat Boko Haram. Why are they afraid of this man? And Ayofai of Ekiti. That one, I don't know where to start. Apart from embezzling millions of naira, this man is the master of stomach infrastructure and bribing people to get votes. And we all heard that leaked tape of how he rigged the Ekiti election. We call it Ekiti Gate. Didn't you hear about Ekiti Gate? The man rigged the Ekiti election with the help of Good Luck Jonathan. And he's also the loudest governor, you know, on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. And he doesn't do anything, you know, for his people, except to buy fish in the market and buy palm oil, you know, red oil. And then he drinks palm wine with market women. So I don't understand. What kind of joke is this? they are running for presidency. Ali Modu Sheriff wants to be president. Ayo Fayose wants to be vice president. Hey, whoa. But you know, you shouldn't be surprised, my people, that there are people in Nigeria that will vote for these people. That is, if PDP goes ahead with this, all they need to do is provide stomach infrastructure. No, be so. In fact, I realize now that one of the reasons why Nigerian officials don't do what they promise that they will do is so that they can promise the same thing when another election comes, you know. Do you have stable electricity? Those of you watching me in Nigeria, do you have stable running water? You don't. What about your roads? Are they good? Like, really? Do politicians promise to fix these things every election year? Of course they do. Yes. So Ali Modu Sheriff is stinkingly rich. Everybody knows that. The man has his own airline, okay? And he's got several private jets. So if he decides to distribute bags of rice when election comes, will people not vote for him? Of course they will. So don't be surprised. I just hope that the members of PDP will sit down and, you know, make some decisions very soon before this gets out of hand. If not, you're finished. So I mentioned Sheriff sponsoring Boko Haram. Did you guys hear that members of ISIS are now selling their cars? And they're also selling fish because oil is not enough anymore. They are broke because the US bombed their oil infrastructure. We all know that ISIS was being sponsored by oil money, you know? So when the US bombed their source of money, guess what? They are broke. Their members are now reducing because they can no longer pay them. They are paying them like $50 per month. And people are like, I can't live on this. You want me to go and kill people on $50 per month? And now, because of that, they are selling their cars. They are selling fish. One time, ISIS in Kiri, they are broke. They are broke. Why can't we apply the same strategy in our dealings with Boko Haram? We in Nigeria, we keep saying that we can't defeat Boko Haram. Not before somewhere then they get their money from. If we can just take out their source of income, Boko Haram will also dwindle. Not be so. And Ali Modu Sheriff is a very good place to start. Allegedly, she understand. Allegedly, me work well. Don't go and quote me. But again, it looks like we prefer to celebrate criminals. We the young people, we keep watching all these grown men with their big agbada and big stomach and designer suits as they are driving this car called Nigeria. I wonder what they will leave for those of us that are coming up. But you guys know I don't know anything. Wait to be my own. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Kenya. Last week, my people, it wasn't pretty at all in Nairobi, Kenya, as heavy rainfalls caused landslides and washed away houses and flooded roads. Everywhere in Nairobi was flooded. Everywhere. Trees collapsed. Some people even lost their cars.
The waters held vehicles hostage. There was nowhere a Nairobian could escape the wet menace.
It was really, really bad. And I've been hearing a lot of people saying that this is because of poor drainage and also poor infrastructure. Hopefully the government of Kenya can do whatever needs to be done so that this doesn't repeat itself. I'm not sure if you guys noticed the fence that collapsed.
This amateur video shows the impact of the rains and poor infrastructure. And just like that, this wall on Lenana Road came tumbling down.
Yeah, that's very sad. I heard that about 4 people lost their lives when that wall collapsed. Yeah, it's very, very sad. But you know, the most heartbreaking thing that happened during that flood was a 6-story building that collapsed in Huruma district in Nairobi. At least 49 people have lost their lives. It's really, really sad because this didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen at all. Even though the heavy rainfall contributed to the collapse of the building, we heard that this particular building did not have planning permission. And it's not as if it's an old building. It was built 2 years ago. Why should a building built 2 years ago collapse because of flood? Apparently, the owner did not get the necessary license, so he probably didn't pass an inspection or something. But what I don't understand is why someone would build a house knowing that you didn't follow due procedure and rent it to people. Like, why? How could you be so wicked?
This is where the back of the building stood, right next to the riverbank, raising questions as to how planning permission and inspection was approved. It is clear that its structural integrity was affected.
And now, 49 of those people lost their lives. The president visited the site and he ordered that the owner be arrested. In the meantime though, huge thanks to all the rescue workers at the site, because I heard that it was really hard getting to that place. There was only one road and it's very narrow, including the military men and women that showed up to help, as well as Red Cross and so many others. At least 140 people were rescued, including a baby that was rescued 4 days after the building collapsed. 4 days, that's a miracle. And the toddler was also rescued like 3 days after the building collapsed. The amazing thing was 4 people were rescued 6 days after the building collapsed. You should see the crowd cheering. Yes, that's a miracle. Now the disturbing thing is that when the building cracked, before it collapsed, like first of all, it cracked. Some tenants refused to get out. I don't know what they were waiting for. They thought that it's just a crack and it would be repaired.
I heard a loud bang around 9:15. I ran from 5th floor to downstairs to check, and I saw a huge crack on the floor, and I could also feel the house sway. I went back up to warn the neighbors. Most ignored this, saying it would be repaired.
Now that's really sad. Did you guys hear what he said? He said that most of the neighbors ignored him when he went back upstairs and told them to get out.
My family just got out in the nick of time. I was about to leave when I felt the ground under me give way.
I'm glad that he made it out with his family, although he was still injured. The one thing that troubles me is I still see several of such buildings in the same neighborhood. Did you guys notice that in the video? And people are still living there. Like, if something like that should happen to your neighbor, I thought the very next day you will pack your load and leave with your family. At least 200 buildings have been earmarked for demolition, but people are still there.
The county government says at least 200 buildings have been earmarked for demolition. Most of them do not have occupancy permits.
See that? Those buildings did not have occupancy permits, yet people are living there. They've been told to vacate the buildings, but they are still there. I don't know. I mean, I know that houses like this may be cheap. They may be cheaper than other houses, but please, my people, it's not worth losing your life. And if you're living in a building earmarked for demolition, why are you still there? I don't get it. Before renting a place, please try to do your best to make sure that it's safe for you and your family. You guys say I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Still on Kenya though, I was really sad like 2 weeks ago when I heard that Mama Lucy Kibaki, that is the former First Lady of Kenya, passed away at the age of 75. She was the one that redefined the role of a First Lady in Africa. Like seriously, very well known for a few controversies, you know, and especially for not being afraid of anybody and for having a little hot temper, just a little. And how can you forget Lucy? I'm going to miss Lucy. Lucy, my Lucy. Oh God, I still remember 2007 when this woman slapped an MC at the State House during Independence Day celebration because the MC made a mistake when he was introducing her. So the MC introduced the First Lady as Lucy Wambui instead of saying Lucy Kibaki. That was what made her mad that day, because you guys know that there's a lady in Kenya by the name of Mary Wambui who was allegedly Kibaki's second wife. A lot of people believed, you know, was also married to Kibaki. So you can see why she would be very upset if people are saying that your husband, they see one woman and then they wanted to introduce you and they mistakenly gave you that woman's last name. Anyway, Lucy got up from her seat in front of everybody. This was an Independence Day celebration. She got up and she slapped the MC, right? Live and direct. And then she went back to her seat. And guess what? The president could not say anything. Unfortunately though, the only non-government owned TV station that captured this dirty slap was forced to delete it right there.
Lucy got up from her seat, walked to the man and slapped him before returning to her seat. But their joy of a scoop was short-lived. The cameraman was summoned to one of the rooms at State House and watched as the footage was erased.
And of course, all the government-owned TV stations that captured it will never air such a thing. So till today, we don't have a video of when she slapped this MC, but everybody in Kenya heard about it. And speaking of having a secret second wife, Lucy made sure that her husband held a press conference just to tell everybody that he has only one wife.
I want to make it very clear that I have only one dear wife, Lucy, who's here. Only one wife. Only one wife.
Stop it. I felt so bad for the man because Lucy literally took over that press conference.
Any questions you can ask? Anybody?
Yes, ask now. You have been tormenting us. I don't know what to get out of it. You get in and nearly came to your studios last night to attack you. Telling lies. You, foreign journalists, ambassadors. Name them.
Wait a minute. Did you guys hear the man breathing heavily whenever Lucy was speaking, as if he was going to say something or was going to stop her?
Ask now or never. From here you go right more lies. I'll be with you. Now is the president.
Mr. President, I'm telling you, everybody in Kenya knew that Lucy was the one in charge, especially when she slapped an MP. That was a Gitobu Imonyala. That one tried to sue her. She also reportedly slapped a state house controller. I'm telling you, this was the first lady that was slapping people left and right. There was one time like this that her neighbor was too loud. They were playing music at midnight. The first lady got up, she marched to her neighbor's house and she ordered them to turn down the music. When newspapers reported the story the next day, she didn't like that story, so she decided to stage a protest. So she stormed the Nation newspaper around 11 p.m. at night, demanding that the reporter that wrote the story must be arrested by the police.
She confiscated notebooks, pens, cameras, and even mobile phones. She ordered Nairobi Provincial Police Officer Kingori Mwangi to call the Commissioner of Police and tell him that she was at the Nation Center and had no intention of leaving.
Oh my God, Lucy Kibaki. I'm going to miss that woman. Do you guys know that she was there till 4 a.m.? I'm telling you, this was a power first lady, and she didn't leave until she successfully slapped a cameraman.
An agitated Mrs. Kibaki at one point slapped Katie and cameraman Clifford Derrick hard across the cheek.
I heard that you are looking for me at Mudaika police station. Just to do that. You don't care.
Please, first lady, please.
So slapping was very, very handy when Lucy was a first lady of Kenya. But jokes aside though, I like to express my condolences to the people of Kenya on her death.
This woman was a great advocate for women, a great advocate for children. I love the fact that she believed in gender equality and she inspired women to participate in politics.
Most importantly, I challenge women to aggressively seek leadership positions. I mean aggressively. You women give things easily, many don't.
I found some old pictures of Lucy and I like to share them with you. These are really nice pictures. I was like, wow, that's Lucy? Like what? She's a really beautiful woman. Of course, she's one of the 3 women that inspired me to want to be first lady someday. It's her, and then Grace Mugabe of Zimbabwe, and of course, Patience Jonathan of Nigeria. These are my inspirations, you know. But at the same time though, I don't think that it's a good thing that African officials or former officials or big people in Africa continuously die abroad. I'm still looking forward to the time that we would have hospitals of international standard in different parts of Africa. Because at your old age, you want to die with your loved ones surrounding you. You know, your children, your grandchildren. But again, you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Ghana. Hey, my Ghanaian people. Why now? Especially the students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. What is wrong? Like right here, by the, you know, never mind. Did you guys hear about the leaked sex tape? First of all, I don't know what it is with Ghana and sex tapes, you know, I mean, no offense, but you know. Anyway, some male students at this university decided to do a public screening of a sex tape that featured a female student and a male student. The only thing is, it's only the face of the female student that was in the video. The male student edited his own face out, and I cannot believe that students actually gathered at the Independence Hall, that is a big residential hall on their campus, to watch the sex tape on a big screen. Wait, how did they even, hello, we are watching a sex tape tonight, you should come and watch. I don't get it. And all this mumu, they all showed up as if that was not embarrassing enough, that we are now screening sex tapes on a Ghanaian campus. No one even questioned the fact that, wait a minute, we only see the face of the girl. What happened to the guy? Instead, this mumu, after watching the sex tape, they all march to the girls' hostel looking for her so that they can shame her. I'm like, hey, this is the school named after Kwame Nkrumah. You know, if Kwame Nkrumah should be alive today, I don't think that he would be happy with this kind of development. Screening sex tape on your campus when your mates are all over the world inventing stuff, doing great research, finding cure for malaria and cancer and all, having scientific breakthroughs. You are watching, Africans, Africans. While I strongly condemn what the girl did, because you guys know my stand about sleeping with somebody you are not married to. I really think that it's cruel what the guy did. You slept with this girl and you knew that you were just using her, and then you had the audacity to ridicule her in front of the whole campus. This is cruelty and a violation of her rights to privacy. It's not fair. Having said that, the main reason I decided to talk about this story is to warn young girls. First of all, don't be sleeping with somebody you're not married to. Benny, I know you will tell me I'm old school. I don't care. It comes with too many headache. You don't even need all that headache in your life. And then when it doesn't lead to marriage, you feel cheated. You feel jilted. And second of all, if you let a guy film you having sex with him, it's like you just gave him power over you. You gave him something that he can use to manipulate you, or that he can use to disgrace you and your family in the future. It's also possible that she didn't know that the guy was filming, but just bottom line, just don't sleep with somebody you are not married to, and don't do This girl right now is wishing that she never slept with that guy. Don't you think so? I hope that she doesn't do anything crazy, because this is not the end of the world, my dear. It's not the end of the world. Don't go and kill yourself because of what happened. Just put this behind you and move on. You can still have a great future. Anyway, you guys know I don't know much, oh. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. So Congo was in the news this week, but unfortunately it wasn't for something good. You know how I was talking about the Ghanaian story just now? You see, these people, if you don't tame them when they are young, they will grow up and they will still be doing, you know. Can you imagine that a Congolese minister was caught? Actually, is the deputy minister of Post, Telecommunications and Information Technology. The man was exposed though after practicing, can I call that cyber sex? What do you call it? I don't know what came over him. A grown man trying to have sex with somebody via Skype. Like, hey, Jay, I'm very sure he has a madam at home. I don't understand. Is that bad? That he would, Kalido just said he was masturbating. How did you know the meaning of Jay? Kalido on Skype, the picture is everywhere. So the lady released the footage and it went viral. I was like, man, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? You know, I was really surprised because a similar thing happened in 2013 when a Congolese ambassador was also doing the same thing. And that lady also released the footage and it went viral. That one got completely naked. I saw pictures. I said, Che! Oh, yeah, man, this is somebody's father. What a shame. I don't know when this man would learn. You will see them in suits and you would think that they are somebody. Like really grown men with wife and children at home. Doing it with people on Skype. Really? You will be surprised how many African officials sleep with young girls. These old men are supposed to be role models, you know? My guess is that they didn't start when they turned 50. Yes, Benny, they must have started a long time ago on campus, you know? They've been doing it before they got big stomach, and since they didn't check themselves at that time, now it's too late. It's everywhere. Now the whole world knew what they've been doing for years. Very, very sad. I only pity their wives and their children, because now they also have to endure the embarrassment of, that is your daddy on the internet. What a shame. But you know, like I said with the Ghanaian sex tape, when you do stupid things like this, especially via the internet, are you kidding me? You just give somebody else the power over you. And as you can see, this could happen to men and women alike. Bottom line is, if you don't want this to happen to you, just don't do it. But you guys know I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Before I leave, I like to read one email, and this one is from somebody called Toyin. I remember a few weeks ago, I shared the story of a lady by the name Oniyelu Fumilola who needed kidney transplant. I shared her story on my Facebook page and also on my blog, and she just wrote me an update which makes me really, really happy. Hi Adeola, I'm writing to sincerely appreciate you for your kind attention and assistance in airing Lola's kidney transplant case and the fundraising on your show as well as on your blog. To the glory of God, the successful kidney transplant was carried out at Zenith Medicals in Abuja 2 weeks ago, and Lola has just been discharged from the hospital. All the money was fully paid. On behalf of Fumilola Oniyelu, we wish to say a big thank you to all well-meaning people who came to her aid. God bless you mightily, Adeola. Thank you so much. Wow, doesn't that make you feel happy? You know, when you help somebody, I'm telling you, there's a great joy in helping people. So thank you so much, everybody that donated towards her treatment. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. I love you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. All right, y'all, that's all the time that I have for emails today. Please keep sending your emails to adeola.keepingitreal@gmail.com. Alright, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeola off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 080-7578-7135 or 080-9990-0601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.